Hey guys, Glenn and Dave, our buddy Danny. We met him through our Dadson frickin' addiction. But I just told Dave, I said, I'm gonna go old school, and Dave says, what did you say, Dave?
Suick?
I said, not that old school. He's like...
Toad.
I grabbed a toad. We got this one from John, the Minnesota Muskie Show. Thanks, John. Toads always work. Hit way out from the boat. Actually, I think it was hooked underneath.
Yeah, it was. It looked like it.
Went for a little run. It's not a huge one, but it's a decent one. Dave got one earlier.
We had truck trouble.
We had truck trouble, so I had to run get another truck. So we didn't get any video of that, but I'm gonna put the pictures in. We'll have a quick look at this one, and we'll just keep rolling.
Tackleberry's gonna get one on that toad. Go to the other side of the far side, yep.
Nope. Look, he's hooked underneath, eh?
Yeah. Here we go.
Oh, you're free. Hey! Something like that. And a remoter, Dave?
Actually, it's a little bit better than I thought it was. Grab the tail.
Oh, yeah.
Right on.
Nice little guy. Okay, we're gonna get this guy back, and we'll keep at it. Shaker. Looks a little better.
It does look nice. Time to make this handle bigger?
Yeah. No, he's right here, Dave.
Hell yeah.
First cast.
After that last
Yep,
one
it was one cast. No, two casts. Two casts. Okay, so literally 2 casts since I put that last one back. I cast out to the front of the boat. Danny put on a DK, kind of letting him hit the bank. This one hit way out from the boat. It's a little bigger. It's all tangled. I'm not gonna dig it out of the net right now. I'll just grab the fish. He's definitely green. Hey now, you did this, remember that. Here we go.
Perfect. Nice sticker, eh?
Yeah, a little better fish.
Tail's a little bit beat.
Decent fish.
A little guy. Perfect.
All right, let's get this guy back. Hey guys, we'll cover both catches here because they come on back-to-back casts with one cast in between. But I say it a lot on the channel. We're fishing classic Shield stuff. This is as classic as it gets for steep breaking shoreline. Again, for people driving by, this doesn't look like much of a quote-unquote musky spot, But when you're on these big shield lakes, you have to explore these deep breaking, you know, shorelines like this and look for little anomalies and look for current. We're always looking for current. We know this spot really well. We catch a lot of fish here. What it is we're looking for is lake current is actually going that way. So in areas where you have any kind of structure that rolls off of a steep shore, you're going to have a little bit of a current push. Same thing in these corners, that current will roll around. It's not a lot of current, but it's movement of the water. So what we were doing here is we were actually fishing this whole area. And the first fish, we had the boat out around this area. We always sit in deep water. And because there's 3 of us, I decided to put on that toad, and I was casting more or less forward and not trying to hit the wall. And I'll show you why in a second. And that first fish come off of a spot here that we know there's an underwater shelf, and there's always fish sitting around that underwater shelf, and I'll explain why in a minute. And then the second fish, we had just cleaned up and we had moved the boat up. We just moved forward a little bit, and again, you can actually see I cast way out the front of the boat, and Danny casts in tighter to the rock shelf with a DK, which for most people would be the most obvious spot to cast. And I picked up the second one right there, and I'll show you why on the next breakdown here. All right, if I break it down like this, we're looking for these edges, and I don't know whoever come up with this. I always heard Steve Herbeck talk about this first, and using these underwater edges. We always look at, you know, the edge close to shore, but something Steve and I know other guys have talked about are these edges where steep breaking shoreline meets the bottom. So that right there is an edge. That right there is an edge. And those fish use these edges. And again, going back to my other breakdown map, I was casting way out in front of the boat. I wasn't even trying to reach the steep breaking shoreline. Dave was using a bucktail, Danny was using a crankbait. They're going to pull fish that might be sitting and hiding inside there. What I was trying to do was get fish that were suspended out over open water, but above these 2 edges. And because it's a steep rock shoreline, we have some rubble on the bottom. And then on my first fish, we actually had a natural shelf. So I'm looking for fish that are suspended off of those type of areas. And when you have 2 or 3 people on the boat, especially up on shield lakes, it's always good to cast out in front of the boat or even a couple on the other side, depending on how tight you guys are into shore. But use your electronics and try to find these underwater edges. Fish might only be down 6 or 7 feet, but it's going to be out suspended over those areas. And for us, we like to use a dive and rise, rubber like a bulldog or a toad or a Medusa, something that you can just kind of slow roll and let the fish kind of pick it up from underneath if they're sitting suspended. And that's why we catch fish a lot on areas like this.
Oh, right there. Oh, he's off. Somebody else 2 years later with the mayhem bait. There we go. Okay, got it. You're welcome to me. It's a pipe, big pipe. Oh my goodness. A silver pipe. It's not pure silver, but no, close.
Okay guys, been kind of a long afternoon. We got those couple earlier. We've had some chances. We come into a weed line. Danny had what Dave and I thought was a small tiger on. It got off close to the boat on, take a guess, drop tine growler on the brand new one that Thatcher just gave me. Danny's gonna hold it up. It looks like it's got a little bit of a bend in it. Pink with black nickel. So we come into another weed line, and probably our last spot, we might hit one more spot. And he hit right at the side of the boat. Unfortunately, it's not the big muskie we're after, but it's a really nice pike, and it's not a silver pike, but it just doesn't have the pure pike colors. So it's a pretty awesome fish just the same. Danny's gonna grab it. We'll have a boo at it, and then we'll get a cool release shot. That's a nice chubby pike.
That's a weird color, eh?
Yeah, it's different color. Okay, well, let's get a release shot on that. Hey guys, that's a wrap. We ended up with 3 muskies.
Yep.
Dave wasn't on camera, but like I said earlier, we'll have that one in. Dave's going to tell me what he got it on. Actually,
I'm going to show you.
Right
This
there.
Dadson right here is money.
Yep. That was what, 20 minutes into your guys' day, pretty much?
20 casts.
Yeah, 20 casts. I got 2 on the toad. For me, toad is just, it's like a clutch bait. It always has been. It's been one of my favorite baits.
Oh, in fact, I called it on video. So.
And Dave called it. He knows. I think Danny's gonna go buy one now.
Yeah.
And Danny lost a muskie, and then he finished with a really nice pike. Yeah, it's not a muskie, but anytime you get a pike over that 36-inch range, that's awesome. So for another video where you got to stick with those confidence baits, check out the link right here. And until next time, for Glenn, Dave, and Danny, 54 Bust is out of here, and we'll catch you guys out on the water later.
Yeah, see ya.